Just waiting for the time that we all die.
We're on level 13, right? I'm just making sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So, hello everybody. Welcome to Quill and Sword. We are a bunch of creative people playing some D&D together in a dark fantasy world. If dark fantasy isn't your jam, now's your chance to go over to SENITA or VERA's channel and watch some wholesome gaming. That being said, yes, wholesome. Cursing is wholesome sometimes.
Fucking A.
Exactly. But we love some D&D. We love some Syrinscape. We use Syrinscape for our sound effects and our music. It's great. And I'm pulling my dice over here as we speak because I'm prepared like a smart one. And I'm going to roll this dice and see who it lands on for our recap. That is going to be Megan. Megan, give us a recap if you please.
Well, I can start us off by saying that we got ourselves a haunted pirate boat. Yes, absolutely. We got ourselves a haunted pirate boat that has lots of... It's very interesting. We thought we had it, but then there's a guy who actually, owns it. But so it's all up for debate, right? Whose boat is it? Really, there's the captain guy. There's the being that probably makes it all, be ghostly and stuff like that. And then there's a bunch of ghosts that kind of don't talk very much. Anyway, but it was pretty cool, and everyone tried to be very, very polite to the ghosts and the captain, except for Anu, who wanted to claim everything. So, I pass it on to Marissa.
Yeah, so we got this boat, and we have set sail, and I don't remember the name of the lad, the not nice little boy who is also... Edmund, there we go. That is the name he has given us. It is probably not his real name, but he is the creature with the needly smile that... is maybe owner's not the word, like the possessor, the spirit that comes along with the boat, because the captain did win it in some sort of contest by knowing names and such. So we're on this boat. Nim is not having a good time with Edmund because while she does enjoy children, she does not like fake children that are not nice. So, but yes, now we are on our way and we are going to, be heroes, as we often do. So with that, I'm going to pass it to Robin.
Alright, so like the current captain of this boat, acting captain of this boat, I suppose, I don't remember his name, but I do remember that he's got like awesome wings and he's this gargoyle fella, and like he has a nice laugh. I really enjoy him a lot. Like his presence sort of warms the area. He's quite cocky. He likes to flex at people, or at least he did at me when I was studying his back to learn how to copy his wings. Vera.
I don't know how much there is that we didn't. I mean, before we ended up on this boat, we had breakfast a la Ben, who has been sent back with Asana as company back to Voiré. So hopefully arrive safely. Boy, we're putting a lot of faith on that. Given what you've already put him through, Stephen. Counting on you not to screw all that up. I think that's everything that I can think of. Has everybody else gone?
SENITA hasn't, but she's currently
on the floor.
Occupado.
I'm also not sure if there's much left.
I shit out a dragon.
Yes, that's where we ended.
Right, that's where we
I forgot about that.
I'm so glad you went last now.
Uh-huh.
You couldn't have planned that on purpose.
Yep. You have a dragon. And that is where we are going to roll the intro. And we are back, and we are going to just go ahead and open up with the dragon scene. So, please, SENITA, can you describe this dragon for us? What does it look like?
Oh my god, I had it in my head and now I don't get just alright. It doesn't have wings on its back. Its arms are its wings. And then it has legs, a long tail. I want 2 slick black horns that are black. It's a black and brown dragon. It's a nice little swirl going on there with amber eyes.
Yeah.
A long dragon snout, because of course.
Mm-hmm.
And his name is Nuka.
Nuka.
Oh.
And so as this dragon, you guys watch as this dragon spreads its massive wingspan and lets out a screech that sounds almost like a distorted falcon's a little bit. And then it slowly like sidles around the side of Anu, and its snout just sort of like presses gently on her shoulder, and it just sort of nudges, and you hear it make this tiny, almost like a chirrup, like a cat. It's like a... And Anu, you start to find yourself coming to, being nudged in the shoulder with chirrups.
That was so painful.
Is that typically how elves give birth here on your planet?
No. No,
Okay,
no, it is not.
Because that's not the way it is where I come from.
Did we all agree that Anu could have a pet? I don't remember the discussion if we did.
I think this one just kind of happened.
Oh dear. Well, then I'm getting a kitten.
Okay, you can have a kitten. We'll get you a kitten next time we're in a town.
Fair enough. Okay.
Steven, I can't even remember. Did I get back on deck for this? Because last I remember was just finding a cabin.
I think you were finding a cabin and trying to go to sleep, but with all the commotion that's going on and the massive screech, you can come above deck if you want to, if you think it makes sense for you to.
Yeah, no. From that, I think I would. So yeah, Wisp is going to come up on deck, and paint me a picture. What am I seeing?
So in the silver moonlight, you see this massive wyvern. It's not mature. It's definitely young, but it is like twice the size of a person, and it is nudging this crocodilian snout against Anu's shoulder, just going "Rrr, rrr." And it's kind of like occasionally adjusting itself with these wings, like awkwardly moving back and forth a little bit anxiously.
Okay, so I feel like I missed something.
I don't know how to describe this.
So Tuesday.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah, got it.
Anu,
Is
are
it
you
new?
all right?
Yeah, that was what I was gonna ask.
Oh, I'm fantastic.
And Anu, your eyes are back to normal. You don't have scales anymore. And as you stand up, this pendant that you have jangles a little bit, and the stone just sort of like pulses, almost like with a heartbeat.
Oh, my baby smooth skin is back.
So Anu, friend of yours, or
Oh yes, it's mine. I gave birth to this.
I did miss a lot, didn't I?
Anyone who wants to can try to roll an Arcana check. It's a very difficult DC, but
Yes, please.
it's
I mean,
not...
hell, you said anyone who wants to, and you didn't specify they had to be proficient. Let's go.
That is correct. You don't have to be proficient in order to know about this.
Am I going to
Jim got a
explode
nat
if I
one,
fail?
so
A -1?
nat one.
Oh, a nat
Make
1.
it up more.
So it has no idea.
28.
28.
Ooh.
That
19.
19. So, Wisp, you have heard of this sort of thing. It is a very rare occurrence to happen. It is said that in ancient times, before the elves were split as a people, they were one. And they were known as soul creatures. They could manifest their soul in the form of a beastly creature that was almost like a companion, think like Avatar: The Last Airbender with Appa. A creature that is directly tied to their personhood and whom they can understand intimately, just as it can understand them. It is a pretty rare occurrence nowadays for an elf to manifest this, but those who can throughout all their various lifetimes. So apparently at some point in the past, Anu had a dragon-type creature that has now reincarnated again with her.
Cool. So, Anu, were you expecting this to happen, or
In some ways, yes. In other ways, no.
Okay.
I'm not even tied down right now. I don't understand.
Well, you know.
Wait, so do you even know who the father is?
No, not at all.
It's,
I mean, how long? I mean, when did you? I mean, I guess you could have snuck off anytime. It is kind of your thing.
So Tempest, and I'll give kind of the rough rundown that what happened is not what Tempest thinks happened, just so we can clear this hump.
Well, that's so much less exciting than I had anticipated.
It's okay. We are
No,
all
like-
here to support you.
Tempest, I feel you. Where your head was going, I'm here for it. I support it. It's just not the case this time.
The truth is a bit more reassuring than what we originally thought, though, so that I think that's okay.
Well, yes. So, Stephen one, is the captain on deck at all? And two, is anybody reacting to this thing?
So the ghosts don't react. They are echoes of a past time, and so they sort of
Yeah.
act on a loop, right?
Yeah.
However, Anu, you have a new feature. It doesn't actually do anything for you mechanically as such right now, but you're one of the El Seren, or the soul creatures. So your bloodline traces back to the very original elves, and that means that you can choose to take dragonborn feats and features in addition to elf ones. That is why you were able to take the gift of the silver dragon.
Okay. Is that something? Oh, okay.
It just means that, like, for purposes of D&D Beyond, you don't have to check the box limiting your race to what feats you take and things like that.
Okay.
So you can get more broken.
Always a
And-
good sign.
And you also have this companion that is a part of you and whom you can communicate with telepathically as long as you're on the same plane of existence.
Yay! It's mine. Is this like one of those if I die, it dies
Yes.
situation? Okay.
Yep.
But if it dies, do I die too?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we're tied connectedly.
Yes.
This isn't an
Is-
Aragon situation.
Yep.
That's
Is
good.
is this something we have to feed and care for? Steven?
So only in so much that Anu needs to be fed and cared for. The
Okay.
creature and Anu are like intimately linked on a spiritual level.
So does that... Sorry.
If one eats, the other one doesn't need to. If one drinks, the other one doesn't need to. So long as each is sustained, they basically get to share in each other's things. As time progresses and their bond increases, they may even be able to take hits for each other or things like that.
That's very cool. So that means that if there's like a cave-in or something and we don't know if Anu is okay in there, we can make sure she gets fed by feeding the dragon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or if she gets trapped under a chandelier, because, you know, that's not a totally unreasonable circumstance to think of.
Not 0% chance of having happened, yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't name the dragon chandelier.
No, because I need to fly, not crash it.
You know, after hearing all this, I know I've maintained many times that I'm not an elf, but I'd just like to say, not an elf.
How big is it? Can I pick it up, or is it too big for me to pick up?
It's too big for you to pick up. However, make an Arcana check for me. You asked one of the right questions.
All right. Okay, all right, we're gonna go.
Wait,
with
can I
purple.
ride this dragon around?
Not yet. It's a nat 20.
Nat 20. So when you think this, you see the pendant start to glow with this silvery blue light, and the wyvern starts glowing in tandem, and it's almost like a Pokemon evolution sequence, but it devolves into this tiny, very cute version that is literally handheld. It's about the size of a stuffed animal, and it's much cuter and looks like a baby, and it sort of hops up and perches on your shoulder.
The captain's up here, right?
Yeah, the captain's up there, and Seamus is just looking at all this. He's like, wow, don't see that one every day.
Yeah, how about these wings, my guy? How about these wings?
Those are some good wings. Not gonna lie to you. That's a very interesting turn of events. And he's just like dumbfounded. Like, this is the least you've heard him speak in a long time.
Hey, Anu.
So
We should
how?
totally... Sorry.
Huh? I was gonna say, it's like, so about that race.
I mean, I'll race you, but I don't think I'll win at this point.
Of course not. I'm gonna take the dragon. I'm just gonna put it in my arms. It's gonna be my squishmallow right now.
And he will absolutely just sit there like a baby cat and be your squishmallow. And you can just carry him around in your arms like Misty with Togepi if you want to.
Aww.
I was gonna say, I was just calling it Squish just brought to mind Finding Nemo.
Mm-hmm.
I shall call him Squishy. He shall be mine. He shall be my Squishy.
So, yeah. Anu, you have a dragon companion. And just so you know, other features may be unlocked as you ask the right questions or otherwise do a thing and can make a successful Arcana roll.
I also asked to have like a mouse companion earlier. I just completely forgot about that. I have a pocket mouse that does. No, wait, I think I did use it one episode.
You did. You used it pretty early on.
Get that from the urchin background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're gonna be friends.
Oh my god, I'm just now imagining this wyvern with like a little mouse hanging out on its snoot. I'm dead.
Well, now I have to ask. Now I have to figure out what questions I need to ask.
Yeah.
Steven, what questions do I need to ask?
Sorry, this isn't the Baba episode. I'm not obliged to answer. However, Nim, as you see this, your mind drifts just a little bit as you feel the pull from that bell that you have. Make an Arcana check.
Five.
5? Nope. So you do sort of, as you just, your fingers graze this bell, you feel the card, the tarot card that you hold, starting to heat up just a little bit. You see this green light ebbing from where you keep it in your pouch, and then it just fades and dims.
Well, that's odd. I want to look around and see if I can see anything that, you know, might require some magical friendship healing.
Okay. Okay. Go
Is that
ahead.
an investigation?
Yeah, investigation feels right for that.
13.
13. So you do feel there is almost like this looming presence that exists over Seamus. You are able to piece together that this presence comes from Edmund, but you're not entirely sure that it's unwanted.
Ooh.
And that's just what you can feel based on your intuition and this sort of extension of your senses that you found you have since having cured Ben.
I'm gonna go talk to Seamus real quick. In a
Okay.
very sly manner.
Okay. What does Sly look like for Nim?
An overly exaggerated casual stroll across the deck.
Okay. Make a performance check.
Ooh, that's something I do good. 26?
26. You very casually just sort of sidle up, and he's like, "Oh, what can I do for you?"
Oh, well, you know, I just wanted to thank you for letting us aboard this ship. You know, it's just one surprise after another, and, you know, I have to say we are as surprised as you about the dragon situation. That's very new. But also, you know, your friend Edmund downstairs, likes cinnamon rolls. Did you know that?
I had a suspicion.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, who doesn't? Would you like one by chance?
I think I might take you up on that, actually. And he reaches and takes it and starts eating. And you do see he has fangs, so it's almost like vampire-y in that way.
That's funny. Well, so I guess, you know, I was just, you know, curious about, you know, your relationship with Edmund. I mean, I know he's a child, but not a child. Would you be interested in any schooling for him? Do you have perhaps a parental role in his life? You know, would you care for, how is Edmund at reading? What does he know about numbers? We can do table manners, whatever it is you need. I've taught for many years, and I am happy to be there. But, you know, again, you know, I would just need to know, you know, your relationship to him in that's, you know, because if you are the guardian, I would want to ask.
Lass, your heart's in the right place. But what you don't understand is that maybe you haven't seen it. Edmund has 3 different forms.
Oh, I've seen a few of them, yes.
And, Edmund is older than all of us. Edmund might be older than the world itself, frankly speaking. He's something else, and I dare say that if anything, he'd be the one schooling us, and I'm not sure our minds are built for that sort of knowledge.
No, absolutely not. I don't think they are. Well, okay. So, I guess, you know, so I guess you could say you're friends, you and Edmund. I mean, I suppose you share a ship now.
Friends is a way to put it. Business partners might be another.
Okay.
Edmund gives me things in exchange for our game that we had. And he sort of like raises his hand, and as he does, you see this purple and pink fire just like erupt in his palm and burn without really having any apparent fuel source. And then he just closes his clawed fingers again and it snuffs.
Well, that's neat. Okay.
Wasn't always
then?
born with magic, dear.
Okay. Well, I mean, as long as it's, a fruitful relationship and you're, I mean, it's not mine to judge is what I'm saying. I was just curious because, when you see a child below deck, you might, have questions. And then when the child turns into an old man and then an eldritch horror and then smiles with needles, I have more questions. So, but, as long as everybody's good, it's fine.
In all fairness, I don't think Edmund is good or evil. I think he just is. And, well, I know what they say about warlocks, and I know that, technically speaking, that's illegal. But, technically speaking, what all of you do is also illegal, and also, technically speaking, privateering isn't exactly allowed in every water, so I'm not exactly about following the rules.
No, absolutely. If we waited for permission or had to follow the rules everywhere we went, nothing would ever get done. And what sort of mess would we be in then? So, okay. So, all right. I'm just curious. Just wanted to ask a question or two. That's all.
Well, I appreciate you asking. And, just know that as long as you're my guests, Edmund won't hurt you.
That's fantastic.
And, yeah, with that, he will turn his attention back to steering the ship. So you are welcome to continue the conversation, but he is sort of just focusing now on steering where they're going and making sure that Anu's mage hand doesn't show up trying to take control again.
So
I
Nim
can
is just
take
going to
control in a
casually
whole
walk
new
away.
way now.
So it is about 1 o'clock in the morning at this point. And what is everyone choosing to do? Are you going to bed and resting? Are you staying up on the ghost ship? Do you feel safe sleeping in the cabins?
I feel entirely safe sleeping in the cabins, but I'm gonna stay up and watch over everybody else on first shift.
Okay. So you're establishing a watch.
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody else has to come along with me on this. Like, if you guys would like to continue what you're doing, I am perfectly fine with that. I am just going to keep a watch.
Well, I only need a few hours of rest. I can stay up with you.
Awesome.
All right. So Tempest and Masquerade are staying up first. I would like both of you to roll a d20 for me and tell me what you get.
Oh, good.
Is everyone else going to bed? Or trancing?
Nim's going back to her cabin and she's going to hold the card and see if she can make it glow again. See if she
Okay.
can get more information.
Okay, make another Arcana check. This is your second time today, so it's harder.
22.
Oh, you made it! Okay.
Yeah.
So you're holding this card, and you're really focusing on it, and Nim, it is such an interesting sensation as you actually awaken this sense within you on purpose this time. You can feel it's a rush. It's sights, sounds, smells, but all of them are different from the perceptions you would imagine. Rather than feeling needles prickling your skin, it's a smell. Rather than the ring of a bell, it's a taste in your mouth. And your senses have sort of converged in this almost bizarre way that is causing the world itself to expand, and you become aware of the spirits of your companions on the deck, and you feel this camaraderie erupt within you for them. And you remember Steve, your Steve, the horse that was so unfairly taken from you. And you think about Charlie, the sword that you've made contact with on Wisp's belt. And everything coalesces in this intensely emotional moment. And everyone else, your cards start glowing with green light. And there is vivid green erupting from the middle of the ship, from this cabin where Nim is doing what she's doing. And I need you to make another Arcana check. Or you can choose Persuasion.
Ooh, I'm doing Persuasion.
Okay.
27?
27. Wisp, you feel a hand grasp your shoulder. Where am I?
Charlie?
Wisp? And you turn around and you see this huge, portly fella with these massive muscles, and he's wearing just a plain vest, plain shirt. It's kind of tattered brown pants. He's got boots from like a smith. And in the same moment, you hear this boom resound from below deck. And all of a sudden, in this explosion of an echoing horse whinny, there is a Clydesdale in the middle of your cabin, and he is not corrupted, and the bells are around his neck. And the light dims. What just happened?
I think my friend just fixed you.
Who fixed me?
Nim.
Nim. That's a really good name. I think I know her.
I think if you don't yet, you should.
And he will just like hold his arms out for a hug.
Oh, going right in.
Yeah, and he will grab onto you and just embrace you. He's like, this is what all of you look like then. Who's that one? He points at Masquerade.
That is Mask. Was actually was away for a bit, but yes, that's Mask. That's Anu. That's Tempest, and that is Nim.
Nim, you're standing in the doorway from below deck. You've got a horse kind of like crunching the stairs down just a little bit with his sheer weight. And you guys see Steve behind Nim as a full-grown Clydesdale just chilling out on the stairway.
You guys, Steve is back!
Nim, I don't know if you realize this, but you fixed Charlie.
Charlie? Oh my goodness, I was just holding a card and thinking about how great everybody was and how, this is I don't know how I did it, but I'm so glad you're here, Charlie. Charlie, would you like a cinnamon roll? It's probably been a long time since you've had anything to eat. These are delicious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he grabs it and just shoves the whole thing in his mouth in one bite. And he kind of chokes a little bit and sputters, and there's crumbs that go out, but he eats that, and he's like, oh, that was so good.
Well, there's plenty more where that came from, but we should probably find you a real meal first.
There's more? I want cinnamon rolls. I haven't been able to taste anything for too long.
She just
And he'll just take as many as you'll give him. Like, he'll load his arms up if you'll give it to him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you feel this, like, hard nudge, and you almost stumble forward a little bit as Steve is nudging you. and you see this, like, pitiful, like, look in his eyes. It's almost like when a cat asks for a treat.
I reach into my apron and get out an apple.
And he will eat it, and then he'll nudge the cinnamon roll container.
He gets one of those, too.
He will morph that down, and then he whinnies with glee. And as he does, it echoes, and he back into the bells.
Well, gang, I know I said I was going to bed, but I did something first. rest. I'll really go to bed now. I promise.
Good work, Nim.
I think you earned it. So, Steven, just as a practical matter,
Yes.
did I lose my sword as a result of this?
Yes, you did.
God damn it.
Oops, I'm sorry.
You got your rapier.
No,
though.
like, it's fine. This is a better outcome. It's just, it was significantly better than every other weapon I had.
Yep. And with that being said, you go to sleep. And Wisp, do you go to sleep or you stay up and talk to Charlie, or what are you doing? It's up to you, Wisp. What are you trying to do?
I think I'm gonna definitely sort of check in with Charlie, see if he like has questions, wants to talk.
Okay.
Just sort of, and make sure that he doesn't like eat himself sick.
Okay. He's already done that at this point and is now
Okay,
wharfing
good.
over the side of the boat.
All right,
He
Oh,
does
Charlie.
not care.
just rub his back, like, okay.
Yeah, he
Dun,
kind of like
dun,
wipes
dun,
off his
dun.
mouth. Yes. Oh, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
He wipes his mouth off a little bit. He's like, I don't think I like vomiting. I'm still not sure I like vomiting. It's different. It's better. It means I have a body, right?
It's sometimes the not great sensations remind you that you're still here. So there's always that.
Yeah.
Or in your case, reminds you that you're back.
Yeah. It's really good to be back. Thank you for being such a good friend while all that. Thank you for bringing me with you. Thank you for, I don't know, if you hadn't taken me, I don't know, I would be here. Because your friend wouldn't have done what she did.
It worked out in the end, didn't it?
Yeah. It
Now-
really did.
Charlie, I really feel the need to emphasize that where we're headed and what we're up to is it's probably not a particularly safe activity. You might have gathered that we tend to run into trouble if not actively look for it.
Yeah.
And I just want to be sure that you don't. I mean, for the moment, you're stuck with us because we're on a ship. But beyond that, you don't have to stay.
Yeah. I mean, my home is gone. It was destroyed by that clan. I don't have anywhere to go. So if you don't mind, I'll tag along till I find a place that feels like home.
I do not mind in the least. I just didn't want you to think that you owed us anything.
I do, though. Because
You don't.
You
And look, I know you feel like you do. But for where we're going and what we're doing, you really don't. I am happy to have you. Just don't come just because you think you're supposed to. Okay? It's too dangerous for that kind of a decision.
I don't know where I belong anymore in the world. I haven't, even before what happened. It's partly why I got into what I did. Do you think making stuff with magic is legal? No. I didn't know what I wanted. I still don't, but having a body's a great place to start.
I will be happy to have you around for as long as you think that being with us is helping you figure out what you want.
I appreciate that. You are such a wonderful friend. And he'll just kind of like stretch real big. He's like, "Oh, I forgot what it's like to be tired. Oh, that's not super great."
No, but it'll feel fulfilling to sleep.
That's true. I think I'll head down to the cabins then, if that's all right. Looks like it's very occupied up here, and he kind of eyes a ghost as it walks through him.
Yeah,
just on its
route. You know what? Why don't I show you the? Why don't I accompany you just back to the cabins? There's just enough oddness on here as is, you know.
And he will accompany you, and you see Edmund waiting at the bottom of the stairs for you with his needle smile.
I was afraid of that. Oh, I don't think you and I have formally met yet.
You can call me Edmund.
You don't call me anything.
Well, if I can't call you anything, what do I call you? How about everything?
Go for it.
And you see this, like, recognition in his eyes. Like, he knows the game you're playing. And he respects it. Like, game recognizes game sort of thing. All right. Well, everything. You'll be happy to know that your little friend's green explosion made it so that I'm relegated to outside right now. My shadows don't reach anywhere.
That's a very easy thing for you to say.
You're right. Maybe I'm lying. Can I lie?
I don't know.
I mean,
Given enough time, I might be able to suss out whether or not you can.
You can roll
if I have
an insight check.
An insight check?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay. Yeah. That. Oh, man. Insight. Where the hell is it? 7.
He's hard to read.
Yeah. No, I'm sure he is. Like, if I can be honest with you about something, I don't plan to get to know you well enough to get a sense of whether or not you can lie, but we'll see where things go.
Oh, that's a shame. Because I was just thinking, if you wanted, I could give you a real nice sword.
Oh, you do pay attention, don't you?
And as his form shifts to this old man, he's like, "How you think I lived so long?"
Just trying to alleviate the boredom? Death sounds very boring.
Maybe you should ask your little friend about that one then, huh? You know, the one with all the metal in her face.
You like to stir stuff up, don't you?
Oh, I do.
I'm a little too tired. I'm a little too tired to be stirred tonight.
Oh, bummer. I'm in the mood for making some soup.
Yes, I suspect you constantly have a pot on the boil.
You might say that. And he shifts to the young man. Anyway, to your quarters then. I'll be up all night.
Have a good evening. Have a good evening, and I will usher Charlie along and kind of just like as nonchalantly as I can, just be like, you know, don't say anything, don't ask, just
right. And he just sort of like nods, like he gets it, but he doesn't get it, but he knows that he doesn't get it.
Good man.
And so the two of you are going to sleep. So I need each of you to roll a d20 for me.
So do you want me to roll twice for each of us then?
Yes, you roll for you and Charlie. Nim, you roll for yourself. And then I'm going to bring in Masquerade and Tempest rolls. What did you guys roll forever ago when I asked you to roll?
14.
Damn, this whole time I hope you'd forget. I rolled a
Nope.
2.
A 2.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
that's an 8. That's an 18 for me, and oh shit, that's a nat 1 for Charlie.
Okay.
Can I spend an inspiration to reroll Charlie's?
You certainly can.
Okay, I don't want to. Dude just got his body back.
Watch the high numbers be the ones that we're trying to avoid.
I mean, you never know. I would do something like that.
You would. It's a 2.
Okay. Same as Tempest.
It's not a
Interesting.
nat 1. So
Okay.
Which means we're getting double Kuatoans.
And what did Nim get?
8.
8.
I used all my good rolls to bring Charlie back from the sword world.
Okay. So
I love it. A sword world.
Yeah, I just assume. Like, everything's sharp and pointy. It's just...
It's right there with
Stuck
the
there.
punch dimension.
Yeah.
So, Masquerade. Let's start with you. So, Masquerade, you are currently sitting up at night. And the moon is full. The stars are bright. How are you staying up? Are you sitting? Are you pacing? Are you patrolling?
I have found a place to perch, and I am perched there surveying.
Okay.
Like, just kind of, triple point in my deep hood, mask on, very still, just on guard.
Okay. So, what about you, Tempest? How are you
Well,
staying
Tempest
awake?
is in her black leather pants and billowy white shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Very
uh,
piratey
and
of you.
very piratey. She likes this pirate thing. This is a good aesthetic for her. And she's got her little boots of spider climb on, and she's she spends her time walking up and down the masts and out on the rigging and hanging out and looking out into and just enjoying the wind and and the world, because this is her thing. She's decided she really likes this.
Okay. So, as you are standing there, you are looking up, and the sea salt breeze is so nice. It's so relaxing. It's warm, but it's cooling because it's a really warm night. And it is so pleasant. And a couple footsteps just walk up beside you, and you just feel a presence beside you. And
Is it a familiar presence?
it is a familiar presence, wearing a black billowy shirt similar to yours. And you recognize the voice as she says, "What a lovely evening."
Yes, lovely evening, or it was actually a lovely evening. But as with everything, you ruin it. What do you want?
Would you call it ruining, or would you call it making it better?
No, I believe the term is ruining it. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to go with ruining it. Why don't you leave me alone? That would make it so much better.
Well, I would have been forced to, except it just so happens that someone under my dominion lives here, and while he may not appreciate me coming by, and we may not necessarily be on good terms, he does have to let me on, if I ask nicely. And you can see, just like looking from in the corner of your purview, looking out from below deck, you see this little boy, and he looks worried, and almost like you see Edmund looking terrified for the first time in your life. And he mouths,
Well, you're here. What do you want?
Just to let you know that I'm here, that's all.
Well, your job is done. You can leave now, right? Just scatter on down and eat some baby souls or something, whatever you do when you're not bothering me.
That's fine, but I just thought you'd like to know that just as Edmund, is that what he's going by now, is under my domain, so too then is every warlock that he influences. And while Edmund may not necessarily harm you, even if I wish it, not all creatures are so readily able to resist my influence. Just something to think about in that pretty little head of yours. And she taps your forehead. And Masquerade,
Yes.
you just see Tempest looking out on the horizon, and all of a sudden her eyes roll in the back of her head, and she falls overboard and sploosh into the water.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm going in after her. It's
Okay. So, you dive in, I presume? I need
Yep.
an athletics check from you.
Yep. I'm not actually good at that, but I mean... oh no, I'm using a point of inspiration. That will not stand.
Yeah, and Anu, you also see this, by the way, because you're up.
10.
10. So, you are swimming down, and you're trying to swim down, and the breath just, like, escapes your lungs because you're too forceful, and you have to make a choice now. Are you going to rise to the surface, or are you going to continue to pursue and take a d6 of drowning damage?
I will take drowning damage.
Okay.
What a shock.
That's a 3. You take 3 drowning damage.
Alright.
And you see Tempest is falling deeper and deeper. Tempest, you're still on the deck as far as you're aware. So, tell me now, what is it exactly that you're trying to get out of all of this? You're really just an acting out, spoiled little child.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time someone called me that. But in this case, you're mistaken. Freedom. I did what you wanted. I'm out. I get to live my life.
Huh.
That was the deal.
Freedom. Freedom? Freedom is an illusion, dear child. It always has been. Everyone has a master. Everyone is beholden to someone or something. That's how gods work.
I don't worship any god. Least of all, you.
Well, I suppose it doesn't matter because I'm not the one you need to cry out to save you now, am I? Because I'm not the one that did anything to you. And she's just like looking at you with this smile. Masquerade, another athletics check.
Can I Misty Step instead?
You can Misty Step instead.
Okay, I Misty Step instead.
Okay, you Misty Step instead, circumventing the check. And you can actually get 2 Tempest with that.
Cool. Gonna grab Tempest, and then next round I'll start heading back up.
Okay. So, Tempest, as she looks at you, she smiles and says, "Here's the great thing about all of this. All of this." And she gestures to the ship. "This is a place I can touch because it's in my domain. So please, give me a reason. Now that I've found you, I'm not going to forget you.
So, whatever. Do your worst, right? Kill me. That's what you've wanted to do. You want this chunk of power back, then just go ahead and kill me. Take whatever it is you want and be done.
Oh no, my dear child. It's not you that I want. I'm done with you. But I do want you to watch as I take the others. And Masquerade, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
Oh, wonderful. Don't like that. Let's see. Okay, so the first one is a 26. Let's see how much worse the second one is. Oh no, the second one was 28 with a nat 20. So we're going with 26.
You rise to the surface and break the surface of the water, only to realize you're looking up at the ship. And you see Tempest is still on the side of the boat. There's no one in your arms anymore, and you feel this grasping darkness reaching for you from the depths.
I'm gonna... how far away is the ship?
The ship is about 20 feet away.
I misty step again.
You misty step again. You can't.
Oh, crap.
You realize you have a bracelet you didn't have before. It's made of some sort of black rock, and it has a locking mechanism. How did you not see when someone slipped this on you?
Is it Ebon Shade?
It is.
I neutralized the Ebon Shade.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. I'm terrible at this, but okay. 19! The dice love me tonight.
The bracelet crumbles and turns to powder, and it evaporates in the water. And you are now just treading water at this point. The ship is continuing to move.
Okay. Is it now more than 30 feet away?
It is not.
Okay, then I misty step.
Alright, you misty step onto the ship. And now
Steven?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I would like to attempt to use my channel divinity. Now, I don't have a particular power for this, but I know that, you know, it's technically channel divinity, but this is the vengeance thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to use this energy as a to tell the Raven Queen off.
Okay.
And so I know that you want to torture me, but not today. Today you're going to leave. Today you're going to leave because there are other sources of power in my soul. And one of which is my incredible hatred of you. And she just lets go one of her channel divinity to summon the power that she gets from wanting nothing but vengeance upon this person who has once again asserted nothing but wanting to torture her again after hundreds of years. And she's just going to take all of this and just throw it at her.
Okay.
The idea of banishing this entity from my presence.
Okay.
It's the only chunk of power that I could possibly think of. Yeah.
Okay. So, Masquerade,
Yes.
As you misty step, you feel these grasping shadows below, still trying to latch onto you, but your misty step evades them as these tendrils of shadow coalesce. And you see now there are red eyes and needle mouths within the shadows as they grasp for your ankles, and you misty step away. And you find yourself sopping wet, coughing out water on the deck. Meanwhile, Tempest, as you summon this hatred within you, the Raven Queen looks almost disgusted as she goes, shit. And into vapor. And you now see Masquerade coughing and choking, sopping wet on the deck.
I then proceed to take my mask off and blow a raspberry at the tendrils. Not today.
Tempest, Misty steps down from the rigging.
Okay.
Right next to Mask. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Did she get you?
I should be asking you that. You're the one that fell overboard.
I don't fall, but okay.
Well, I saw you pass out and fall overboard. I understand that's not how you experienced it, but that's what happened for me.
Do you need healing?
No, I'm okay. I should probably be alright after I've slept. I barely got hurt. And it's just a lung full of water. Oh.
Well, thank you for jumping overboard for me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sorry that it wasn't necessary.
Anu,
We need
you
to
see
warn
all
people.
this. Sorry.
We need to warn people. This place is of her, and she can be here. I banished her a little bit, I think.
And we can't
but
just not try to save each other if we fall overboard.
I know.
Okay.
I'm not saying don't. I'm saying that she can get us here.
Yeah.
She's just Edmund is one of hers. By nature, if not by intent.
Well,
So, how long are we going to be on this ship? It was such a nice ship, too.
I know we're headed to... What was that rock called? Something Gloom, was it, Steven? Help me.
Darkwing Hold.
Darkwing Hold.
Well,
Sorry.
Edmund is one of hers, and that means anyone that Edmund empowers is also one of hers by proxy. In the same way that my sword came from a creature of the Raven Queen, a quill from the Great Beast, so too does the power of any warlock who gains his power, their power from Edmund.
Well,
I don't know who here does that, but if someone did, they would be susceptible to manipulation.
anytime you take power from an entity, you're susceptible to manipulation. It's just warlocks.
Been there,
All
done
right.
that. I learned the lesson, but too late.
All right. We'll rally the group and let them know what happens in the morning, first thing in the morning.
Speaking of, Wisp,
Yes.
you wake up. The sun is shining. It's gorgeous outside. You hear the gulls. And as you roll over, it's not Charlie that's sharing your cot. It's not her either. It's and she rolls over and you see this massive sharp-toothed maw, and Asana embraces you. Good morning.
When did you get back?
Oh, I took your friend to his town, and I'm now here with you, ready to go wherever you go.
We're on a ship. How I'm being messed with, aren't I?
We're on our ship. Go ahead and make a insight roll, or you can choose a charisma saving throw.
Let me see. I'll go with a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Nat 20.
You see through it all, and that's when you realize that it's not Asana that's lying beside you. And you see flickers. There's Charlie there still, and you can kind of see through it, but it's almost like the illusion is trying to pull you back in. It's trying to drag you back into its experience. But you see flickers of these glowing orange eyes looking dead at you.
You know, I actually kind of take greater offense to you manipulating the things that I like than just putting me into a fucking nightmare. That would show more respect.
And even as you try to say this, your words only come out little bits at a time in groans. You're still halfway asleep. And make another charisma saving throw.
16.
16. You pull out of it, and you see the captain, Seamus, looking at you, and you see these like whirling shadows that were coalescing around his wrists and darkening him just shatter like glass and evaporate. Oh, well, that's a neat little trick you got there, isn't it?
You are not invited into my headspace. I'm charging him. I am headbutting him right in the gut with my fucking horns.
Okay, make an attack roll.
17.
17. Okay. So that will hit him. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Actually, sorry. Technically, it's 22. I didn't add my modifier onto that. So, all right. So that's 6. That is 9 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, 9 bludgeoning damage. So, you deal 9 bludgeoning damage, and you ram into him, and you feel like his body is much harder than you expected. In fact, it's scaled. And he smiles down at you, and he's like, "Oh, we're doing this one then. Well, that's fine with me, because here's the thing. You're not going to be able to fight me and rescue your little friends."
One thing at a time.
And as we cut from that, we're going to go over to Anu. Anu.
Finally.
Where are you?
I was having conversations with my dragon to get a feel of what I can do with my dragon.
Okay. Make an Arcana check for me.
14.
14.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
15. My bad.
15. So as you are messing around with your dragon, trying to figure out what's going on, you tell him to do stuff, and he seems to understand intuitively what you mean. But whenever he communicates with you, it's not with words, and it's more with emotions or desires and feelings and sensations. And you also realize that he can, in fact, turn into that blue energy once again and jump inside that pendant that you have.
Ooh.
So it also lets you just dismiss him like a familiar. It does take a bonus action to summon him or to change forms with him.
Okay.
But you can, in fact, just summon and dismiss your dragon at will.
That is awesome.
And after you release him one more time, I need you to make a d20 roll for me and tell me what you get.
Four.
4. So your dragon is sort of like sniffling and rolling around and everything. He's really excited. His tail wags as he plays with you. And you see, it looks almost like shadows creep up from behind him. You're good enough at perception, you don't even have to roll for it. You see that they start to twist and start wrapping around his tail first. What do you do?
Well, I can communicate with it. It's just more of a. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing and feeling this? Type thing.
Let's see if he is. He is. So he jumps up, and as he jumps, this, like, it's almost like a caged tumbleweed of shadows sort of acts like it tried to envelop him, and he dodges out of the way, jumping out just as it forms. And you see these chattering needle mouths and blinking red eyes everywhere inside this tumbleweed of shadows. And it reshapes into these, like, sort of swaying tendrils that seem to be now getting ready to pounce on you. What do you do?
Am I gonna have to blow holes in my ship?
You might have to blow holes in your ship.
That's just a Pirates of the Caribbean moment right there. Stop losing my ship.
Let's see. Well, I think first I'm gonna see how corporal they are. Because I'm wondering if I'm just seeing things.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take my crossbow and fire at it.
With the silvered bolts or the regular?
The silver bolts.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
19.
19. Okay. So you fire this crossbow bolt, and it sticks and lands in the shadow, and it disperses it immediately. Just. And now we get to Nim.
What?
Nim. You awaken suddenly to a crash and shouting from the cabin next to you. You hear a commotion above deck. Something's going on, and your room feels eerily silent. Like, so silent, it's notable absence of sound. You don't even hear the ocean in here.
So I'm gonna sit up. How is there any light in my cabin? I mean,
There's a candle you can light.
Okay, I'm gonna start by doing that, and then kind
Okay.
of take a look around to see if I can get an idea of what the hell's going on.
You're just in your normal cabin, and you hear Wisp saying the lines that they just said about being upset that whoever this is messed with something that they love.
I want to get up and go into Wisp's cabin.
Okay, so you exit your own cabin, and you find that the room to Wisp's cabin is locked. Wisp, you hear the door jostling from your cabin after you ram your head into Seamus.
Mm-hmm. Do I have the option for action?
You do have the option for an action.
Terrific. I'm putting him in a fucking force cage.
Okay. Go ahead. Is that a saving throw or does that just happen?
That just happens. If he wants, okay, so this thing goes up for an hour. This is a 10 by 10 box. The energy is solid. There are no gaps in it.
Okay.
This just happens to him. It lasts for an hour. He cannot escape by non-magical means. If he wants to attempt a magical means of escape, that is a charisma saving throw. And only after doing that can he attempt whatever magical means of escape he's trying to do. It also extends into the ethereal plane. So if he tries to cross planes to get out of the cage, it doesn't work.
Okay, does it say he can't summon things? Or he can't conjure things? Okay.
No, it does not, because it doesn't negate his magic. Although, let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out if, like, he might be able to, but it might also be confined in the cage with him if he does. Let me just check this.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask for your call on this.
Okay.
So officially, the energy that makes this up, it prevents any matter from passing through it, and it blocks any spells cast into it or out from the area.
Okay.
So my read on that is, if he wanted to summon something in the box with him, he probably could, but he can't do it outside of the box unless he escapes the thing first.
Okay. So he'll make a charisma saving throw. It's okay. He's good at these. What do I need to beat?
You need to beat 16.
Oh, I got a 14. Okay. So
he's stuck. I'll unlock the door.
All right. So you see his form sort of like, and it stops, and he's like, "Oh, you're nasty." And
I'll do a quick little, and then go unlock the door.
All right, you unlock the door. What does Wisp see, Nim?
Nim's got two fists up, but not in like a very good fighter sort of pose because she doesn't really know how. Do you need help? What's going on? What Seamus?
Yeah, he's a problem now, and I don't know how long that's going to hold him.
Oh, okay. Seamus, does this have anything to do with our conversation yesterday, sir?
He looks at you and he's like, "You really don't get how magic works and the rules about it, do you?"
Well, no, but I'm just saying, I thought we had a nice, friendly relationship, so I just assumed everything was gonna be fine.
Wisp, you got another action.
Okay. Is Charlie anywhere in the room?
Charlie's sleeping in the bed right now. He hasn't woke up yet.
Cool. That's fine. Nim, where is everybody else?
Well, I was gonna tell you, there was a big noise above deck, and I assume there's some sort of chaos that has occurred, so we might need to go up there, but I don't think we should leave Charlie down here if he's going to be in that cage, so...
Yeah,
I don't...
probably not. Okay, I'm gonna go and try and wake up Charlie.
So, okay, you try to wake up Charlie, and as you reach and grab for Charlie, a hand grabs Charlie first. And you see he's escaped the cage. He's like, oh, I get it. You care about this one, do ya? And he misty steps above deck. And so now, Anu and Masquerade and Tempest, all of you see Seamus has Charlie right now by the arms, and he misty steps right where the captain's wheel is. And you see these shadows start to coalesce around the two of them. Well, I guess the secret's out of the bag. I thought we were going to do this in the dream world, but that's all right with me.
Tempest summons her blade, the biggest, blackest, straightest edge version that she can make,
Okay.
like Cloud Strife sword, and says, "You bastard." Oh, sorry, wrong accent. Wrong accent. You bastard.
Well,
You're one of hers. You're one of hers.
so I am.
She then utters, let's see. Drop him, or I will take your head from your shoulders. And that's a vow of enmity, by the way.
Oh. So he says, as you wish. And he flies 60 feet into the air with Charlie. And he seems like he's flying real high before he drops him.
Can I have gotten a can I have thrown my hammers at him before? No. On his turn, he would able to. Okay, yeah.
You, Anu, and Masquerade can all get an action on him right now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
so-
send Nuka after him.
Oh, you're sending the
That's smart.
dragon. Are you evolving him to his big form?
Yeah, because I'm not sending him after Seamus. It's just when he drops Charlie, Nuka's gonna get Charlie.
Okay, so you guys watch as this tiny dragon flits, jumping off of Anu's shoulders, and it's really fast compared to what you'd expect. It's almost like watching, the Powerpuff Girls, where like this blue light is trailing behind it. And then, Anu, how does it look when Charlie evolves? Or not Charlie, excuse me, Nuka evolves. Nuka, not Charlie. I'm getting
When he digivolves?
Yeah, basically.
Basically, like a magical girl scenario.
Okay. So you guys
There's
watch.
a lot of spins and posing and just.
So definitely better than like the Aragon movie. Got it.
Yes.
So you guys watch as Nuka just erupts in blue light as first the wings into these massive wings, and then the entire body just and the horns are kind of the last thing to come as they sweep back in this blue light that trails with a spin. And Nuka can catch up to Seamus, actually, with just his speed, so he can actually get an action still. Because that's your bonus for him to evolve.
All right. Is he dropping Charlie right away, or
No, he's not.
All right. I'm trying to think if there's a way to have the dragon wrap around Charlie and slightly attack Seamus to get him off guard, to loosen Charlie and come back down.
Okay, do you want him to force Seamus to let go of Charlie, or do you want him to take Charlie from him? Because one can do damage and one can't.
I want him to take Charlie.
Okay, So go ahead and roll a d20 for me and add 8.
Okay.
Oh, you gotta roll pretty high for this one.
21.
That is a tie. Meets beats. So Charlie gets or Charlie, I keep saying Charlie. Nuka grabs Charlie and snatches him away from Seamus. So your dragon now has hold of Charlie, who has started screaming and flailing in the air.
All right. Can it okay, cuz that was that the one that does damage, or
That's
now
one
that
that does not deal damage because you got him safely away, so he's not gonna get dropped.
Oh, you meant Charlie was the one who could get damaged.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. Was that my action? Can you
yeah, that was your action.
I was gonna say Spitfire, run away.
Nope, he just caught up and got Charlie, and that's his action. Masquerade, what are you doing?
Well, let's see. I'm thinking since Charlie is somewhat safe at this moment, it might be a good time for Firebolt.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. In fact, I will let you, because you rolled really well on your gargoyle knowledge previously when you first encountered Seamus, if I remember right. So go ahead and just roll a d20 for me.
Okay. That's gonna be a 4.
Okay. So you are you think that this could be a pretty effective strategy.
Okay. 13 to hit.
13 does not hit. But he will laugh at you, and he's like, "Oh, really, lad? That's what you're going with, fire against the gargoyle? Oh, that's smart."
Well, thanks for letting me know. It might have taken me a few more minutes to realize if you hadn't.
Tempest, what you doing?
Tempest casts Fly and touches Anu as her partner in
Oh!
flight.
Oh,
How does this look?
Oh, these, I mean, we know where she gets her powers from. These are giant black wings that oh no, I'm sorry. You know what? Let's not do wings. Other people have done wings. This is that black angular energy just falls over her body, right? And gathers at the feet and pushes upwards and leaves a trail behind of just black triangles, that two-dimensional triangles that flip and fall and disappear and disperse.
Ooh.
So yeah, touches Anu, and she says, "Let's get him."
okay. All right.
All right, and now Wisp, you and Nim are up, so you guys can actually pick who wants to go first. I'm defaulting to Wisp because you're first on my screen.
So we're currently still in the cabin, yes?
Yeah, you're below deck right now.
How long would it take us to get above deck?
You can have used that last time that they were doing actions to get above deck.
Okay, so
It's not
so
a
you're
very
saying
big
that
ship.
I can already be up there at the start of this round?
Yeah, you guys will be emerging at this round.
Okay, awesome. It doesn't really matter to me who goes first.
So, Nim, do you care to go first, or do you want Wisp to go first?
I assume that I'm bringing up the rear, just in that Nim is not very fast or nimble or stealthy or, just capable in a fight, really.
Okay.
Okay. So, Seamus, he's still in the air, yes?
Mm-hmm.
It's how high up is he?
60 feet.
That's within range. I want to hit him with Ray of Frost.
Okay.
So, let me see.
Make that attack roll.
Dirty 20.
That hits. Roll for damage.
That will be... that wasn't great. Oh, well. 10 points of cold damage.
10 points of cold damage. So, You deal 10 points of cold damage to this guy, and you see that as your ray of frost streaks toward him, and this like aurora light, it causes frost to develop on his wings just a little bit, slows him down just a pinch as this frost continues to crystallize even after he tries to bat it away. And Nim, you're up. What are you doing?
Can I add insult to injury on wisps?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So if you takes damage from attack or spell, you can use your reaction to cause the creature to take additional psychic damage equal to your charisma modifier. Okay. So I'm just going to yell up at Seamus, like, it's pretty cold up there all alone. Too bad you don't have your boat down here.
and you see that it actually looks like it hurt him a little bit when you said that. Like he's just really annoyed with the fact that you're making fun of the fact he got hit with this ray of frost. And he takes 3 more psychic damage. And now it's your turn. That's just your reaction.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, you get an action, a bonus action, and a move still.
Damn. Okay. So where is Nuka and Charlie at this point? They're still descending, I assume?
They are 60 feet up, just like Seamus. They are technically within melee range. We'll get there.
Oh, God. So I would... there's not a whole... Well, hang on. Okay. So I would like to make an attack, and it's probably not going to be a very good attack, just in that, Seamus is 60 feet up. But I would like to use Confound on that attack.
Okay.
So what Nim is going to do is she's going to pick up something that is light enough that she can throw it and aim for his head, and that's going to be her attack. So I'm thinking...
a belaying pin.
A what?
A belaying pin. They're always everywhere, right? Those little pin things that you hold the ropes on.
Oh, sure, yeah. So she's going to grab one of those. She's going to huck it.
Oh. Okay.
So how does that attack work?
So you can just make a d20 roll and add your intelligence modifier to it, because you're trying to be clever about this.
This might be a problem.
Because you have a lot of features that let you replace your attack rolls with mental stats, so I think that makes sense.
17?
17! That will hit him.
Yes! Okay, so when I use Confound with that, for you make an attack roll, you can declare your use of Confound. When you do, add your Charisma modifier to the result. If your result, when using this feature, exceeds the target's armor class by 5 or more, the attack is a critical hit.
It doesn't exceed it by 5 or more. You exactly hit his armor class, so...
Okay.
Meets beats.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, you still get to deal, we'll call it a D6, and add your intelligence and charisma modifiers to it.
Both of them?
Yeah. Because
So
that's
these-
part of what the Confound does, is it lets you add a charisma modifier. I was letting you use intelligence because you were absolutely trying to be clever about this.
So 9.
9 damage. He takes 9 more damage. He is not really looking super hurt, but he's slowed and he's pissed off at this point. Which I think is where you guys want him, right?
Yeah.
And so it's his turn. And he is gonna say, "Oh, you bitch. Fine, let's see how your friends like fighting like you." And he spreads his hands out. As he does, there's this net of shadow. And then he claps it together and it explodes. and the entire ship
that-
inverts.
Oh, that's not a spell, is it?
It is a spell.
It is a spell? Can I counterspell it?
You absolutely can. Go ahead and roll. You need to. What level are you casting Counterspell at?
I have a 4th level slot.
Okay, you need to roll then.
I do just roll. Okay.
And I think you have to get the spell level plus 10. Is that correct?
Okay. You know what? I've never counterspelled before.
Let me look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Counterspell. Oh, yeah. Here it says make a DC 10 plus the spell level.
Yep, so you need a DC 18.
Yeah, it's a charisma check plus 6. Okay. All right. 18 is my die roll plus 6.
Oh! So you guys avoided an anti-magic field, which would have also caused Anu to fall, and would have dismissed. Would have also dismissed her dragon. So you guys avoided a big one there, as you counterspell him, Tempest, and
I think not.
And you just hear him scream, "Oh, really? Really?" And I'm going to let him use a legendary action. Everyone make a dexterity saving throw, except for Anu, because you're flying.
Tempest is flying too, right?
Are you flying? Oh, you cast
Yeah,
both of you.
Yeah, because I only have a 4th level slot for it that can use it, and that means 1 extra person, and so we're both flying.
Oh, that means, okay, both of you don't have to make it then, so only Masquerade, Wisp, and Nim have to make this.
26.
15.
You guys are rolling too
12.
well. Okay, so Masquerade and Nim.
Oh no.
I won't let you down, Steven. You can always blast me.
Both of you are suddenly mummified in shadows as they coalesce around you, and both of you are restrained and silenced. Which means, Nim, you can't use your encouragement ability either right now.
You guys better roll good.
And now we are going to, it's actually Masquerade's turn. So, Masquerade, you can try to make a saving throw to get yourself out. It's a strength save.
All right.
It's a bummer your buffer that can use encouragement isn't helpful right now.
15.
How
15
close
does not
are
make
people?
it.
How close are people to me because they get my they get a +6 to their saving throws if they're near me.
That's got to be within 10 feet. Are we within 10 feet?
Yeah, it's...
No, not if she's flying.
Oh, you're flying. That's right. You're not.
Well,
But
we haven't established where I was, so I just wanted to.
We will say yes, only because you guys were right next to each other.
Okay.
So, because you had to be on the ground in order to be affected by this. So, yeah, you can add that to it, Masquerade. What'd you get?
Oh, what is it?
+6.
21.
21. You managed to just shrug the shadows away and break free fairly
Thank you.
easily. As you feel
almost as if I know how to fight a warlock.
And Tempest, you feel this similar energy to the one that you draw from that's currently holding Masquerade, and you extend your will just as you would for your abilities. And when that happens, it empowers Masquerade just enough, it weakens the bonds just enough that Masquerade, you're able to completely rip them away, and you are free and they are evaporated. That was your action. You have a bonus action and a move.
Okay, let me see. Bonus actions. Okay, does it take an action for me to, like, changeling shift?
Nope.
Okay, well then I'm gonna go ahead and use my bonus action to get wings myself, and next round it's on.
Okay.
And I end my turn.
All right. So you get wings yourself?
Yeah, I turned into, like, a tiefling edition Masquerade.
Okay, you can use your move to fly up if you want.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I will do that.
So you're flying up towards them now, too. Anu, what are you doing?
All right. Well, Does fire's not gonna hurt him?
Nope.
But the silver hurt him?
Well, it hurt the shadows.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to use my crossbows with my silver arrows.
Okay.
Hmm.
13. I'm sorry, not 13. 23. My bad.
23. I was about to say nope, and then you're just like, actually 23.
Because I got a 15, so I was adding the 7 and the 5, and I completely forgot the 1.
Yeah, that hits. That works. Roll your damage. You also get
Question.
sneak attack.
That's okay. That's what I was going to ask.
Because he resists non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, slashing right now. He's not expecting you to shoot silver at him.
Okay, yay! Give me a second. Okay, 66. No, I'm sorry, 76s.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, so 76s plus my 1d6 for my crossbow. I love it. It's fantastic. So that's 8 total d6s, right? Did I do that math right?
Roll it all. Freaking rogues, man. Freaking rogues.
You are so annoyed.
My poor, poor boss. He was supposed to rip your heart out and everything.
Nope.
Ooh. Why would you
My
do
heart
this
has been
to me?
ripped out. I feel very betrayed.
Good.
Alright, 10. 21.
21. Describe for me his grisly demise.
Oh my god. I was gonna take out his kneecaps. Oh my god. Actually, let's just do that. Let's take his kneecaps out.
Okay.
Death by kneecapping.
I just imagine he's falling. No, well, he's flying with his wings. Let's just clip his wings.
Oh. Okay.
That's it. You chose the wrong side, my guy.
Alright. So you fire your arrow and it breaks the first wing as it goes straight through his bone and crack. And he starts flailing in the air as you fire a second time, breaking the other wing. Crack. And he falls, plummeting, crashing just at the captain's wheel. And his neck is broken off to the side. And you see the light, the orange light in his eyes, start to flicker out.
I told you it was my ship.
Crap. Now do we have to worry about Edmund because we're not guests anymore?
Oh, that is a very solid point, my friend.
Well, Tempest was in the middle of flying to rocket towards him to defeat him, and instead, I guess, meets him at the bottom, and just grabs his body and just shakes him. You tell her when your soul goes to her that I will come for her someday. She will not defeat us.
Tempest, I think you missed the window. I don't think he's gonna hear you.
Tempest. Make the Constitution saving throw for me.
Which kind? It's not a concentration, is it?
No.
Okay. That's a 17.
Okay. So you are shaking this gargoyle man, and his head's kind of flopping around loosely, shouting at him about tell her. And then you feel electric pain surge through your whole body, centered on your chest, as you take 41 points of necrotic damage. And the rest of you watch as the head that's flopped over smiles suddenly as the lights flick back on behind the eyes, crack, and the bones crack as he shrugs himself back. And as he does, you watch him grow, and he drives his whole hand into Tempest's chest, gripping your heart. Oof. Blood splatters and explodes on him. And he smiles with these fangs that start growing bigger, and he's like, surprise! You didn't really think you were just gonna kill a servant of death, now did you? And then he is going to shoot back up into the air. And he goes 120 feet.
On what wing?
The wings that healed.
Oh.
This is his second form. And you're now 120 feet in the air, Tempest, gripped by your insides.
Gripped by my insides.
And he looks right in your eyes, and he's like, why don't you tell her for me?
You said, oh, okay. You said I took 41 points of
necrotic damage.
41 necrotic. Oh, wait a minute. But I take, so I take half of that because I'm resistant?
So 20.
Okay. 20. All right. That means I have to roll a concentration check or lose my fly. Is that correct?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter because he's holding you up at this point.
Yeah, but if I and I also have advantage on constitution. I just want to make sure that I haven't lost my spell because I'm very high up. If I do get lost, I don't want to fall.
Right.
So, 19 plus 8, that's a 27. So I keep my fly spell going.
Okay, you keep your fly spell going. That's great.
And I have a question. If I teleport, do I teleport out from around him? Because I can't take anybody when I teleport.
Not right
when
now.
I Misty Step. So if I were to Misty Step, would he still have his hand in my heart?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Well, I just swing my sword at his head then.
Okay. You do so, and make a perception check for me. He's going to use another legendary action.
Perception, huh?
Yep.
Perception is not good for me. Oh no, it's not so bad. 12?
12. I got an 18 on the die. So, you don't notice.
I could re-roll if it's that important.
As it is very important for you. I will give you that.
Okay. So I should probably use an inspiration. Okay, I'll use an inspiration. See if I can do better on that one. Nope, I rolled the exact same thing. This is gonna happen. This is what's meant to be.
Oh God.
You
Wait,
lose.
do you have a negative perception?
So, Anu, you lose your flying. Tempest, you lose your flying. Your sword vanishes.
Okay.
And that's when you notice the new bracelet you have.
Okay.
Made of ebon shade. And you cannot cast spells right now or access your magic.
Okay.
And he looks at you and smiles, and he's like, consider it a gift. And he lets go, and you start falling 120 feet.
Okay.
And it is now Anu's turn. I'm just going in order of who I see on my screen right now, because it's kind of just him versus all of you guys. So, Anu, what are you doing?
We're catching myself in Tempest.
Okay. I need you to make an acrobatics check for Nuka. And, by the way, Nuka has a plus 12 to this.
Oh, okay.
He's very fast in the air, very acrobatic.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. He catches you, and he manages to catch Tempest. So you guys are flying on your dragon at this point.
I was gonna jump on it because we still have Charlie, so I was gonna fall on the back and then catch Tempest.
That is absolutely doable. However, Nuka is now slowed because he does have 3 people. So his speed is reduced to 30 instead of 60. And that, I'm going to say that was your action. You saved Tempest. Good job. Masquerade, what are you doing?
Wait, do I get a bonus action?
Sure, you can get a bonus action, actually, yeah. Because you didn't take one.
Yay. I'm flying. I'm flying towards Mask.
Okay.
Eat Ebonshade. Because that's a thing.
Oh, okay. Yes, we have established that.
I will
So you're
meet
going to
halfway
Mask.
and do this.
All right, is that going to be your action, Mask?
Yeah, it's gonna be my action.
Make an Arcana check.
6, unless somebody wants to spot me an inspiration.
I'll
You have mine.
All right.
Bound by
Wow,
shadows?
4.
Oh, God.
You got a 4?
I got a 4. It's less than the first one was.
Okay, so you grab it and...
You can,
Do you not have plus anything for your Arcana?
No, well, I have +1, so I,
Oh.
rolled a 5 and then a 3.
So your guys' tarot cards all glow with this purple, just briefly, and it flickers before snuffing. You're not quite getting it, Masquerade. You're so close. It's just a lot. You already did it once today. It's a lot. And you're tired, and this is something unexpected. It's all kind of a problem.
I've lost the spell.
Yeah.
You're gonna need like 15 minutes. You'll be all set after about 15 minutes.
And Wisp. Unless you want to use a bonus action, Masquerade.
I couldn't tell you what I do with it. Please proceed.
Wisp, what are you doing?
So he no longer has hold of Tempest, yes?
Correct.
120 feet?
120 feet.
I can still hit him with Ray of Frost.
Okay, you're trying to slow him down again.
Yes, I frickin' am. So, roll this. Ugh, I'm gonna spend an inspiration and redo that. There we go, 24.
24. Okay, that will absolutely hit. Roll your damage.
Let's do better than last time. 12!
12. Okay, so he takes 12 more damage in his new form. And do you have a bonus
Chill out.
action?
Who's physically close to me at this point, and who's falling?
Nim and
Presently.
Masquerade are close to you.
No one's falling. I landed near Mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anu saved everyone from falling because dragon.
That would do it. I'm going to assign Mask as my dance partner just to have that there as a thing.
Okay.
But that's... Oh, you know what? How far away is Tempest from me currently?
We'll say I'm gonna roll a d10 in feet times 10. 20 feet.
Okay, cool. Let's do Healing Word at 2nd level.
Healing word at 2nd level. Okay.
And that'll be a restoration of 10 points of healing.
Hey. 10
Thank you.
points back.
And that'll do it for me.
Okay. Nim.
Well, I mean, unless Mask wants to use their reaction now to do something.
Oh, that's true. Masquerade, are you using your reaction?
Quickly glances at things that I can do as reactions.
Well, this gets turned
No,
into an
unless-
actual action, right?
Yeah, no,
It's a
you
regular
can do
action.
you're
right. I'm your dance partner. I can do an action
Yeah.
as my reaction. Okay, that's
exactly
great.
like you're spending your reaction for the round to do whatever the hell you want.
Cool. Let's magic missile.
Okay, magic missiling him?
Yeah, at level 4.
Okay. Magic missile at level 4.
Yes.
That's
roll the
going
damage.
old school.
Oh my gosh. You might.
Okay, well, it's only rolling 1d4 at a time.
Okay.
Let me see how many of these I get at this level. It's...
I love it when Steven squirms.
Yeah, this could do it. We'll see.
It's 5. $17 damage. I am sorry that took so long.
17 damage. Describe for me his second grisly demise.
Yeah.
Right, just like right through the sternum and out back between the wings, like one of the masks that my magic missiles take the manifestation of, just like poof right through the center. It's the one making the comedy smile.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you do that, he falls. And when he hits the ship this time, and he just evaporates into these beads of darkness that rise almost like bubbles before popping.
That seemed pretty final, unless he is also an illusionist.
Don't jinx it.
Knock on the ship.
And then a child comes to the doorway of the lower deck. I'm really, really sorry. I tried to resist her. I can't.
Tempest gets up, wobbly. We all try. Sometimes we succeed and sometimes we don't.
I'm not mortal. I don't have a choice.
I know.
I didn't mean to. I didn't want to. And then he wanted me to, and I couldn't say no.
You want to know how you can make it up to us, though?
How?
Name me the captain of the ship.
Anu, don't make another bargain.
This isn't bargain. It's payback.
Yeah, I know you don't want it to be, but be really careful how you word what you're saying.
Maybe.
He smiles. That needle-tooth grin.
Oh, God.
You said you want a deal.
That's not a deal. I want payment for saving your life from the shadow. I mean, we could call her back.
I'm not mortal.
No.
I don't have a life. Didn't you hear that part?
Exactly, and we save you for the time being. I feel some rewards is in order. I mean, eventually we're going to get rid of her completely. Just...
How about I take you to Darkwing Hold before she can grab hold of the ship again?
Thank you. I didn't say thank you. That was my mistake. Mask knows better.
That'll do just fine, I think.
He's gone now. So I guess you're safe for the time being. And he looks at Wisp pointedly. I really can't lie.
I suspected you couldn't.
But thank you for getting me my ship back, and maybe I'll learn better than to play the game that is a little fairer than I ever liked.
Well, No matter how long you live, there's still more to learn.
Yeah. I'm starting to find that out, so I guess that is something I need to learn now, isn't it? Well, I need to learn where you keep all the food on this vessel, says Charlie as he, slaps Wisp on the back. One minute I was asleep, the next minute I'm flying, and then you guys are murdering the captain. Can someone fill me in over a pint or 10?
I'll certainly try, Charlie, but for the record, this is not atypical, and this is kind of what I was talking about.
Ah, gotcha. I see. Well, life's life, right? What's life without a little danger?
I like him.
I like him a lot.
Nuka, welcome to the team.
And this enormous dragon, just clearly not used to its own size, just tackle hugs you and pounces on you like a big dog and starts licking your face with this long blue tongue.
Have my
goodness.
shadows dissipated, Steven?
Yep, your shadows are dissipated. You're free. As soon as he died, that happened. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that.
No, that's fine.
The first time or the second time?
Yeah.
The second time.
Yeah. I just walk over to where Edmund is and just open up the cinnamon roll box.
I appreciate it. And he takes one and eats.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you all like, you can get some rest, and I promise the ghosts, the spirits, the specters, and the shadows won't bother you. And so, even though it is 3 o'clock in the morning at this point, it's kind of a lot and very late to go to bed. You guys can manage to go to bed, get your long rest in, because when you wake up in the morning, you will have long rested. The rest of the night is safe.
All right.
And that's where we're going to leave it. You guys did great against Seamus. I really thought he was going to give you more trouble. And that counter spell, my gosh. That was kind of the winner, because if you guys didn't have your magic, you guys would have been uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had an expanded anti-magic zone. That was his nasty bit that got stopped. So, actually, and Tempest, you currently can't use your magic anyway right now. Because you never got that bracelet gone.
Keep in mind for next week, we'll get it. I promise. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we'll get it.
So, yeah. Well, anyone, thank you for joining us. This is our last session during June, so happy Pride Month. We love all of you. Make sure to love each other, treat each other with respect. And until next time, make sure to tell your story your way. Bye.